Hello and welcome to a new devlog video for Peasant Uprise. After a well-deserved vacation trip to Spain, I'm now back home, not only recharged with energy and a handful of good notes, but also inspired by all that I was able to see in terms of old medieval castles and churches. Now that I'm back home, I wanted to take a break from level building to focus on what I have noted as the last big feature of Peasant Uprise: Peasants' Thoughts. While there is a lore and a storyline behind Peasant Uprise, my goal was always that the main story are the peasants themselves. I would like the players to establish a connection with these characters in a way that success or failure mean a little bit more. Unlike other RTS games where units die and it's not a big deal, maybe losing a character that you are more connected to will yield a bigger emotional impact. Likewise, keeping these characters alive will hopefully seem more satisfying. The way I have envisioned this is to have a thought bubble come up from time to time while on camp, sharing some of the peasants' thoughts. But building this system was not easy, as nothing is in game development. And I quickly went down a deep rabbit hole of ideas and complicated algorithms to really dig into what to share. Maybe when a peasant is hungry, but if this is collected in a queue, and by the time it's presented to peasant is not hungry anymore, it will need to check before sharing this information. But then I'm making the same calculation twice, once to preload it in the queue and another time before playing it. But dying of hunger is more important than telling you feel great. So it should be a priority queue that will need to be recalculated with each delivery and pass along a thought object that contains the peasant ID and a type of message that will define what priority it should have. But if the player quits the game, I don't want them to keep sharing the same info or receive 100 messages that you're hungry. So I will need to store what kind of messages have been relayed so they are not duplicated in the queue. In the end, I decided to step back before having my brain explode all over my keyboard. I decided to go back to basics and ask one simple question. What is it that I want to achieve with this? I really just want the players to know more about the peasants and to learn a bit more about the lore via the stories of each peasant. So that simplified things quite a bit. I normally break down these tasks in three ways. Art, that is the task to create the bubble in Photoshop, a design task to convert the mock into Unity UI objects, and a few tech tasks to handle the logic. The UI was a bit tricky because I don't want to use the normal look and feel of the rest of the interface, since it's supposed to be a thought. So I was more looking for a bluish bubble, but I was having a hard time deciding what looked best. So I turned to Discord to publish a poll with 3 different options and I received very good feedback. I will be turning to Discord for these sort of things more often. So feel free to jump into my Discord server to contribute in the creative process. Like other networks, the link is in the description. I do not want these thoughts to be distracting during combat or exploration, so they will only be shown on the screen during camp activities when things are more chill and a bit more automated. In terms of content, I have broken it down into 3 motives: biography, which is a small bit of the peasant's story; status, which will check if the peasant has any urgent needs; and general information regarding their rebellion. Some people may find this to be a good feature and others may find it annoying, so I will consider making this a gameplay setting from the settings menu. However, I do feel like the information provided is important enough to at least be the default state and have it on during the first playthrough. It's been a short week for me, but very productive. I'm glad that this marks the end of all the main must-have features. It does make me feel closer to the finish line. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and click on the bell to receive notifications of upcoming devlogs. With that said, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next update.